Hello everyone, it is Victoria. I hope that you are well. I am doing well, and I wanted to give you a little bit of information, a little bit of the behind the scenes of what's been going on here. So if you have had a moment to check out any of my stories or posts, then you probably know I have just done a thing. I have just launched my first podcast, and it is called the Mom Care Coach. And it's something I'm really excited about. I'm pretty passionate about it. It's something that has been in the works for the past few years. I've wanted to do it. I was just trying to look at how, and I wanted it to be more than just a podcast, okay? By the way, I have some notes here because I wanted to go over a few things. This shouldn't be terribly long, but I just wanted to fill you in on what's kind of been going on. So this has been in the works for the past couple years. I really wanted to provide a community. I wanted it to be more than just a podcast, more than just a platform. I wanted it to be a place where people could thrive. People could interact with each other, people could connect, and have just that support from just other like-minded individuals that understands, where you're coming from, your background, as far as that you are a special needs family, that you have kiddos that are on the autism spectrum. So if you hear anything, that is my cat in the background. We have this little kitten that we just got a few weeks back, and he is still getting acclimated, if you will. So I call this behind the scenes because I wanted to give you a sneak peek behind the scenes of the podcast. It was just launched 2 days ago, technically probably more like a day and a half, because it took a little while for everything to be live. If you go there, you will see the trailer. And by the way, it is live everywhere, all the places that you can put a podcast. But I have been kind of funneling individuals and everyone kind of into iTunes, because with iTunes, when you give a review, it helps tell other people that, hey, this is something you may want to look into if you are looking for this particular kind of thing. So it is a podcast all about self-care for autism moms, only autism moms, meaning we don't really go into all of the meat and potatoes about our kiddos and everything. It's really just focused on us and our self-care. And the reason why I have really phrased it that way is because I wanted a place for moms to thrive, moms that have kiddos on the autism spectrum, okay? So, let me tell you what's over there when you go. You will see the trailer. The trailer is 3 minutes long, and it gives you a beautiful synopsis about what the show is going to be about. And you will also find the first 3 episodes that are over there. That was just launched a day and a half ago, and which is so exciting. And it gives a real beautiful foundation for the purpose, okay? So the first show you will see over there is why I made a podcast when there's so many different podcasts, even other podcasts about special needs, about families of special needs, and about families that have children on the spectrum. So the reason why I wanted to make this particular podcast is because I love all of the other families that are teaching and educating about special needs and about their children and giving tips and tricks and all of those things. And I listen to them myself, and I absolutely love them. But what I felt was missing from the ones that I've checked out, there may be some more, but what I felt was missing was that there needed to be this place where they are kind of saying the things that you just don't usually hear. And so that's the voice that I am trying to bring to my podcast. And the reason why, and I've said this before, but for those of you who don't know, I was a director of an autism clinic, okay? And so I met many different families. I worked with the families. I worked with the children. I hired the therapist. I I checked out the families and seen what they needed, and the moms would come and share so much information with me about what was going on in their home and their needs, and the different resources that they were looking for. I also did all of the marketing. So I did the marketing in hospitals, and I would speak with the doctors, and I would share about what we could offer them and how we could be an asset to their community. And it was very well received. It was wonderful. I absolutely loved it. And I learned so much from that, and it was just a really beautiful experience. But what I found was that I didn't see, let me rephrase. When I spoke with the doctors and had these beautiful conversations, which were really wonderful, there was never a moment that I saw, and I worked with all different kinds of doctors. I worked with developmental pediatricians, neurologists, psychiatrists, psychologists, all different kinds. And I had a wonderful experience with each individual one of them. They always was very much wanting to help in any way that they could. And what I found as a parent and as a mother, whenever a child receives the diagnosis, what I felt was lacking, honestly, between you and me, I really felt like I wished the therapist or the doctor would turn to the mother or the caregiver in the home that's usually going to get their child diagnosed. I wish that they would turn to them and say, okay, listen, this is the diagnosis, okay? And these are the list of therapists you can go see for ABA, for speech and OT and everything. But listen, this is something I really want you to understand. You are going to have to make sure your self-care is taken care of. Meaning, you're going to have to see what you actually need to thrive. This is not the short game, this is the long game. And you need to make sure that you're protecting your mindset. I'm going to go into the 4 intentional needs, which is actually one of the episodes. You need to worry about or take care of your mindset, meaning setting clear boundaries for yourself. Okay? We're not talking about the kiddos, we're talking about ourselves. How are we protecting ourselves? We also need to make sure we are having a positive outlook about the goals that we're wanting to accomplish. We're wanting to make sure we're able to get sleep, which is really, really hard. And if they had given like a little bit of, how about try this or try this or try this? It just never happens. And the 4 intentional needs, by the way, are nutrition, mindset, movement, which is exercise, and sleep. So those are the 4 intentional needs that I really go into in depth in one of the episodes. Okay, and then, so the first episode was the why, because I felt like there was a need. There needed to be a spoken mouthpiece of someone saying, this is how you provide self-care for yourself so that you can thrive as the caregiver. Because what happens is, and I remember speaking with families where moms had nervous breakdowns, moms had depression, anxiety, so many different issues that were going on, health conditions, physical health conditions, mental health conditions, because they were not providing the help that they needed for themselves, okay? So I want to be that mouthpiece that is doing that. And then also I want to create a community, a safe space, so that we can thrive as mothers. And then, let's see, the first one was the why. The second episode is the ABCs of self-care for autism moms. Okay, so, and I go into beautiful depth on the episode, so I'm not going to go into a lot of details here, but I want you to know what I mean by that. Okay, so affirm what you want. What are the goals that you're wanting for your own self-care, your own self? When you think about it, this is a beautiful time of year, isn't it? It is the very end of October. We are in Q4. And so a lot of people are kind of thinking about what they're wanting for the future, right? But not just right now, not just next year, but even 5 years, 10 years, 15 years ahead. Yes, but we have to actually start thinking about what we would like. And the great thing about Q4 is we can think about what we actually want right now. How would you want to provide really good, deep sleep for yourself? How would you like to nourish your body? And what are some really easy, quick meals that are really healthy that you could put on the table for yourself, right? And then I have some upcoming episodes that's going to go into that meal prep, meal planning 101, flexitarian meals, meaning like you create one meal, okay, for yourself, and then you can have other sides so other people in your family can have options as well. But what's nice about that is that it creates a space where you are just making that main meal and you're not having to make several different meals for all the people in your family just so that they can eat what it is that they will eat, right? So I do have upcoming episodes on that. And then what is the third one? Yes, the third is the 4 intentional needs of self-care. So those are the 3 episodes that are up right now, plus the trailer, okay? Every week, my plan, so I had those 3 episodes. They were live yesterday. Tuesday, my plan is to have 1 episode released on Tuesday and 1 episode released on Friday, okay? We will not have another episode released this Friday because there's 3 episodes that are completely binge-worthy because each episode is between 20 to 30 minutes, and there's 3. So I think we're good for this week. But for next week, Tuesday and Friday, and on is what the plan is. Okay, so the next thing, this is more fun stuff. Okay, so I have created a Facebook group called the Mom Care Coach, which is going to bring in that piece that it's going to help us to be able to connect with each other and to be able to interact with each other. So it's like I said, I would like to create a community where people can feel safe and feel heard and they can speak their truth with, of course, not speaking against somebody else or putting any political views or none of that stuff. We are really just talking about like the podcast, okay? And we are talking about different needs that we are noticing. It's kind of this more of a wellness space. And each week we have a theme. It's called One Big Idea. And so if you notice for the episodes that I just released, it is for mindset. It's my kitty cat. This week has been for mindset. So for next week, I think we're going to do nutrition for the episodes that I have coming up. So that is what we'll talk about in the Facebook group. But there's more. I will have extension videos. It's in the Facebook group and only in the Facebook group. These extension videos are going along with the podcast episodes. So, for instance, okay, so I already mentioned that the 3 episodes are why we have this kind of podcast, the ABCs of self-care for autism moms, and the 4 intentional needs of self-care, and it talks about it, right? So maybe that I'm not going to put the extension videos up this week because we're just launching, right? So, but starting next week. But an extension video, if it was going along with those kinds of things, would be more like how I'm creating a positive mindset by noticing what I'm thinking about throughout the day. Okay, so maybe there would be some conversation around that. An extension video will go along with the podcast, though, the different episodes, okay? But there's 4. I'm also creating a newsletter, and this is the reason why I've reached out to a lot of you for your emails, because I'm going to have expansion videos in the weekly newsletter. It's not overwhelming or anything. It just goes along with the episode. An expansion video would be more like, if we're talking about like nutrition, maybe I take you into my kitchen and then I show you a quick meal that you can whip up for yourself, okay? The expansion videos are only going out in the newsletter. So that's why I have to have the emails for that. They're not going to go into the Facebook group. The extension videos, to extend the episode. What are we talking about? How are we going to apply that into our life? So my mindset about that is like the podcast is education, okay? Extension videos are different activities you can do to extend that knowledge of that particular episode. An expansion video that you will have in your email newsletter, how can you apply that to your life? Okay, so an example. Let's say like the ABCs of self-care for autism moms. An expansion video that's going into your email would be more like, let me think. For that, because that one is talking about affirming what you want, building a bridge, and connecting to the mindset that you need to reach that goal. So maybe self-care, an area of self-care that you're wanting to get really good at in your life is exercise. And so maybe an extension video would be some different tips on how you can create that exercise or that movement in your life. An expansion video would be different things that I'm doing. And maybe you could try this or you could try that. And we can kind of talk about that in the Facebook group, okay? But there are different videos that's going to be released depending on if you're in the Facebook group or if you are getting the videos through the emailed newsletter, okay? So there are different kinds of things. Okay, another question that I have had was, do I still have my online health shop? And do I still lead people through that 30-day program I was doing? That is my cat. Yes, and yes. So I do still have the online health shop, and it's still awesome. It's still awesome. And I still lead people through the 30-day transformation program. I absolutely love it. And it actually works perfectly with the podcast and everything, because if you listen to the episodes, I have links in there on the Facebook group. I have links on anything that I'm mentioning in the podcast episode. There was one episode that I linked it was Disability Scoop. This kitten, please send help. Okay, so also, where was I? Oh, the Disability Scoop. So they had a really awesome article, and so I did link that particular article and more information about it, so because it was really cool. And then I also linked like the Pilates program that I do. I Love Lindy Well. It's online. That is linked. I do talk about how you can reach out if you're wanting coaching, one-on-one coaching with me, or if you're wanting to know more about the health bundles that I provide. I still have those, and I'm still doing that. But I wanted to create this community for other women that have children on the autism spectrum. And if you remember, about a month or two ago, I was asking questions to individuals, and I think I mentioned it on a video as well. Some of the things that you would like more information on when it comes to self-care. So I did take those seriously, and I have created episodes or upcoming episodes on the stuff that I was linked and told about and everything. Stress management, sleep, nutrition, finding time to get things done throughout the day. Especially when you have littles, it can be really challenging if you don't have as many resources or as much support. And I do talk about that as well, and different things that I have done. I know for myself, I'm a single mom. I had a divorce when my kids were itty bitty, when they were really little. And so I've been a single mom the whole time. And so I totally understand. So many of the things that I talk about is because that is, the path that I have had to walk. And I totally understand that. And there's also many complications, but it's all good. And the things that are more challenging, I do bring different things up. So I do try to bring it to a resolution in each episode on how you can walk forward, or what we can get more information about, or what we can kind of talk about, especially when you have an idea about the one big idea for each episode is. So if there are any more questions, you can just email me, you can message me. My email is, I just got a new email, it's victoriamattia@momcarecoach.com. Okay, so you can email me there, or you can email whatever is linked in my bio. So I receive all of that. So let me know if you have any questions. Just message me and I will get back with you. And I'm really excited, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks. Bye. As soon as I can figure out how to stop it all, I